So I was casually sitting in my room last night when I heard thunder. The first thought that came to my mind was when I was a kid I used to be scared of loud noises. If you grew up in a Hispanic household like me, you probably heard a few different scary stories from your mom. Let's go down memory lane. We're going to start off with La Llorona, or the Weeping Women. There are many variations on this 500-year-old ghost story, but the typical version starts with Maria, whose beauty was equaled only by her vanity. She used her beauty to marry a handsome, wealthy rancher, and has 2 children. After a few happy years, the rancher takes to roaming the prairies, ignoring her while he is home, but lavishing attention on the children. One day, while walking near the river with the children, Maria sees her husband with the wealthy lady, and in a fit of rage, she throws her children into the river. But when they disappear into the water, she is seized by regret. She runs along the bank of the river, arms outstretched, in a futile attempt to get them back. The inconsolable Maria then drowns herself and is buried by the villagers the next morning. That night, they hear crying down by the river, Maria wailing, "Where are my children?" A woman in a long white robe like Maria's burial dress is seen walking up and down the river bank. Renamed La Llorona, from that day on, she is still sighted near rivers, oceans, and other bodies of water, night after dark night. El Chupacabra, which literally translates to goat sucker, is one of the most famous Latino urban legends out there. That's also partially due to how often people report sightings of the creature all over the Western Hemisphere, including the US. El Chupacabra is said to have both vampiric and lizard-like features. He is mostly known for sucking the blood out of livestock, though some say that he also attacks and kills small animals, like dogs and cats. El Kukui, or the Mexican boogeyman. He is Latina's mother's best ally, her child's worst nightmare. Every Hispanic kid was at least freaked out by this strange being. According to Mexican folklore, El Cuckoo is a small, hideous, hairy-looking creature with glowing red eyes. He has big ears like a bat, a mouth full of razor-sharp teeth like a barracuda. The legend has been passed down over the years by word of mouth. From mother to child, Mexican parents often warn their children, "Behave yourself, or a Kukui will come and take you away." When night falls, a Kukui comes. He hides in your closet or under your bed. He can take the shape of any dark shadow. He watches you silently and waits for his moment to pounce. Then he will take you away to his lair deep in the mountains and devour you. El Silvan is a frightening figure who appears at night in rural areas. He is a tall, skinny man with a deformed face who carries a bag of bones on his back. He is notorious for that eerie tune he whistles. Years ago, there was a young boy who lived with his mother, father, and grandfather. They lived a rather simple life, tending to their farm. However, the boy was pampered by his parents, and they raised a very spoiled child. He was extremely demanding, ordering his parents around and refusing to eat certain foods. He would make a big fuss, shouting and screaming until he got his way. One day, the boy told his father he wanted to eat the entrails of a deer. His father was desperate to please his spoiled son, so he went out hunting. After hours of searching through the forest, the exhausted man returned empty-handed, and things quickly turned deadly. The young boy flew into a rage, and taking a hunting knife, he plunged it into his father's chest again and again. Then he ripped open his father's belly and pulled out his guts. The boy carried his father's guts back to the house. He gave them to his mother and asked her to cook them. The mother quickly became suspicious. "Where did you get these?" she asked. "I got them from Dad," he casually replied. "And where did your father get those from?" "He grew them in his belly," said the boy. The mother couldn't believe what she was hearing. She rushed out to the forest and found the corpse of her husband. The horrified woman fell to her knees and began screaming and howling in grief. When the boy's grandfather heard what he had done to his son, he was enraged. The old man took it upon himself to punish the boy for his terrible sins. First, he tied the murderous child to a tree and beat him over and over with the whip until his back was raw and bloody. Then he handed the boy an old sack containing his father's bloody remains and threw him out to the plains. Just before the boy died from his wounds, his grandfather shouted, "You should not have done that to your father. On your head I lay a curse. You'll be damned for all eternity." The curse transformed him into El Silvan, an undead spirit who must roam the world eternally. He is doomed to wander the plains, carrying the bones of his victims on his back and bringing death and destruction to anyone he comes across. They say it can make the hair stand up on the back of your neck and the blood freeze in your veins. If his whistling sounds very loud, it means he is far away. If the whistling sounds very faint, it means El Silvan is nearby, and you should immediately leave the area. La Guapa is probably the most known monster of Dominican folklore. Azul Guapa is a wild woman-type creature with long dark hair that lives in the forest and the mountains. She is said to be beautiful and prey on men who look upon her bewitched and follow her into the forest, where she has sex with them before killing them. Tracking La Guapa is said to be possible during a full moon, with the aid of a special kind of dog, and her incredible beauty might make it worth the try, if you're okay with her face being the last thing you see on this earth.